Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. We're back in my kitchen and today I'm going to show you guys a delicious recipe for pupusas. We're going to do this recipe step by step, okay? Step 1, your meat. In this bowl I have 2 pounds of a pork butt roast. Okay, I've cut it into small pieces about this big. Okay? You don't want them to be too big because remember, we have to put this in our food processor. Okay? I've also got half a pound of what's called pork belly, okay? This is just where you get all your fat from. So first, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna marinate the meat up before we stick it in our fryer. In here, I have 1 tablespoon of comino. I have 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, and 1 teaspoon of salt, okay? You're just gonna marinate this all up. Now that you have got it all nice and mixed, okay, you're gonna want to have, you can use a stovetop if you want, or you can use a fryer like what I'm using, okay? I just feel like it kind of gets hotter, so it cooks it more thoroughly and a little bit faster. So I've got in here about 1.5 cups of oil. You don't want to like saturate them, you just want enough in there for where you can be turning them around to make sure they're all getting cooked evenly. Okay, so you're just going to start placing all of your pork pieces into the oil, carefully. Once it's in the oil, you're gonna make sure that you're turning it often. Okay, you don't want it to burn. Okay, you're just gonna be moving these pieces around in the oil. Okay. Now we're gonna let this fry. This will probably take about 45 minutes to an hour, okay, for it to completely be cooked. All right, so while this is cooking, we're gonna go ahead and make our sauce, okay, our salsa, okay? In this pot, I have 1 whole small bell pepper, just like the regular size. I've got 6 red tomatoes, 1 small onion cut in half. I've got 1 small carrot, 1 red chile, and 1 big chile, red, okay? This is gonna be for our sauce. I also have 2 cloves of whole garlic, okay? I'm gonna put all this to boil, and then we're gonna come back and do our masa. Alright guys, as you can see, they're starting to get brown, okay? We're about 20 minutes in. Look at that. Okay, we're just going to continue to let these cook here. Turning them often, carefully. This grease is hot. Alright guys, so we're going to go ahead and start preparing our masa while we wait for our chicharrones and our salsa, and we'll also get to the beans, okay, because we're also going to have beans in this recipe. So first, what you're going to do, you're going to have to go buy you some of this, okay, maseca harina, okay. I'm going to use 3 cups of this to about 4 cups of water, maybe a little bit more. For pupusas, you need to have your masa cannot be too dry. It has to be a little bit more wet, okay? It's easier to work with, okay? So you're just gonna make sure your water is at room temperature. If you get it straight from the faucet, and if you have to pop it in the microwave for just about 15 or 20 seconds, okay? You're just gonna gradually add in the water, and then just start working it in with your hand, okay? This is one of them dirty jobs, okay? You gotta use your hands. You gotta get dirty. Okay? You're just gonna keep on working it in. Okay? Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and add just a little bit of salt. Okay? And salt is to taste, but I just do just a little dash. Okay? Nothing too crazy because we're gonna be having chicharrones in here with beans and cheese, and all that carries their own salt. Okay? Alright guys, so once you get your masa all nice and incorporated, mixed in, you're just going to kind of pat it down in the bowl, okay? Let it sit there for a little bit. Keep its moisture until you get to it. Alright guys, it's been about 45 minutes and look how good these look. Gorgeous, smells delicious too. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and take these off the heat. Look at that. We're gonna just set these aside and let these cool. This is 1 pound of fresh pinto beans, okay? I boiled these with 2 cloves of garlic peeled, okay? Because whenever they're done, they cooked for about 3 hours, okay? It's gonna be nice and soft. And then I've put those in the blender, blended everything up with the 2 cloves of garlic, probably about a half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of salt, or salt to taste. You know, if you want more salt or less, it's up to you. And then I got about 3 teaspoons of oil and poured them in the pan, okay? Because you want them to get thick, okay? So you're just gonna continue to let them cook on a medium heat until they get thick, a little bit thicker than this, okay? They're getting there. See? They're starting to get a little thicker. And you guys, y'all can use canned if you want, but I recommend you use fresh. Fresh is always the best. Alright guys, we're going to continue to let this cook, and we're going to go get our stuff prepared for our chicharrones to put those in the food processor to get it ready for our pupusas. Alright guys, so now that we've let our chicharrones cool down for about 15 to 20 minutes, we chopped it in small little pieces like this to place in our food processor, okay? I do have some here that I've already shredded up, and as you can see, it's very fine, okay? What I also did was I added 2 pieces of the bell pepper that we had boiling with the ingredients for the salsa, okay? And then in this one here, I have that carrot that we added. I put that in here with this, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and put all this in here to get ready to blend up. And I'll blend this up, and in the meantime, you're gonna use the mozzarella cheese. I like to use the natural one, okay? Not shredded. So we gotta shred this. And this is a 16 ounce, 1 pound, okay? And then this one here is the Monterey Jack, and this is 8 ounces, okay? So we're gonna shred all this up, including the meat. Alright guys, so now that all of our ingredients are ready, we're gonna go ahead and blend up our salsa. And then we're gonna put that into a pan with 1 tablespoon of grease and let that come to a boil. Alright guys, so now that our salsa is done, we're gonna go ahead and pour this in a bowl. I did let it cool for a little bit, about 15 minutes, because it's pretty hot, okay? And then this is the consistency. It's pretty thin. It's not like watery, but it is a pretty thin sauce, okay? So we'll just pour that in our bowl, just like that. And this is what we'll use to top with our pupusas. And I also did make curtido, okay? I made it the day before, and I'll have all that information in the description below as well, okay? So I'm gonna finish with the pupusas, and then I'll plate them and come back. Alright guys, so now for making our pupusas, finally, what you're gonna do is you're gonna get you a big old piece of masa about this size, okay? Make sure you have a bowl of water and also a small bowl of oil, okay? Here's the oil, okay? Just a little bit, not too much, okay? You're gonna put that into like a ball, and then you're just gonna go back and forth like this to kind of get it a little bit flatter. Okay, and then you're gonna start making like a bowl. Okay, you're just gonna be pressing in as you turn your hand. Okay, to about like that. Okay. Now I'm making chicharrón, and I'm also making the ones with the cheese and the beans. Okay, so you're gonna take like this, about that much, put it in the middle. Okay. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna start making this like as a cup. Okay. Just like this, you're gonna be turning it, turning, okay? Until you get all the way to the top, because we're gonna go ahead and take off all this excess. Okay, you just keep turning, okay? And then you start to kind of pinch it just a little bit. See how it kind of looks like that? You're just gonna keep going, and then take all that off. This is where you're gonna get your oil, okay, on your hand. Rub it around, same on the other side, back and forth, okay? Just like this, okay? You're slightly patting it in, but not too much, okay? And there you have it. There's your pupusa, okay? And then you just slap it on the grill, okay? And you just keep doing that same process until you end, okay? I'll go ahead and do one more. And this one's gonna have the chicharrón in it, okay? And the reason I told you to have a bowl of water is because it makes it a lot easier for you to work with the masa, okay? So we're gonna be doing the same thing. Back and forth, making our little bowl, okay? There's our bowl, okay? You're gonna grab the chicharrón, okay? Stuff it in there, just like that. Then you're gonna get your beans and put in there just like that, okay? And you're gonna do the same thing, okay? Remember, we're making our bowl, okay? So you're just gonna turn, keep turning until you get that little neck looking piece of masa, okay? All the way, keep going, okay? Slightly pressing in, not too much, okay? Then, take it off. This is where you come in with your oil. Okay, and then you're just gonna pat it out, okay? Keep patting back and forth, pressing in gently, not too much, okay? And you want them to be on the thin side, but not too thin, okay? If you start seeing that all the meat's starting to come through, you probably did it too thin, okay? So you're just gonna keep repeating that process until you have all your masa done. Let me finish these up and then we'll come back. Alright guys, as you can see, our pupusas are, well, not all of them, but a lot of them are done. So you're going to go ahead and put you some curtido on the side, just like that, okay? And then we're going to top this off with our sauce. Look at that. Came out so delicious. It smells really good too, okay? And you're just going to come in, put all that sauce all on the top here, okay? And then you'll use that to put on top of your pupusas, okay? How does that look? Doesn't that look yummy? What y'all think about that? That's a good recipe. Y'all should definitely try it out. And if y'all do, make sure y'all leave some comments in the comment section below. And if you haven't already, take your ass down and subscribe to my channel, because I'll have a lot more good recipes just like this one coming your way, okay? So, y'all take care. Be safe in these times of craziness. And I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.